Have you ever noticed that the most intelligent and powerful people usually speak very little? That's no coincidence. The greatest leaders in history understood that silence is a powerful tool. They didn't need to shout, argue, or over-explain themselves. On the contrary, they spoke less and controlled more. While others talked too much and exposed themselves, they observed in silence, analyzed, and made accurate decisions. Today, you'll understand how the simple act of speaking less can earn you more respect, more authority, and more control in almost any situation. You don't need to be aggressive or forceful to be heard. Sometimes true power lies in what you don't say, and that's exactly what Machiavelli teaches us. Those who control their words control the people around them. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn here can change how the world sees you. Also, make sure your notification bell is turned on so you don't miss any of the lessons from Niccolo Machiavelli that I'll be bringing you every week. Machiavelli believed that those who talk too much expose themselves, and those who expose themselves lose control. Have you ever noticed how, in a conversation circle, there's always someone who stays quiet, just observing everything? That person often understands more than everyone who's speaking. And that's exactly the point Machiavelli defended: silence as a weapon of intelligence and dominance. According to Machiavelli, silence protects you. It prevents you from revealing your intentions too soon. Instead of over-explaining, justifying every action, or trying to convince others with words, you learn to act strategically, keeping your ideas to yourself and only revealing what is necessary, and at the right time. While people around you are speaking without thinking, arguing, getting emotional, trying to prove something, you listen, observe, and understand who's really in control of the situation. Silence, in this case, is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of strength, confidence, and strategy. Machiavelli knew this. He saw silence as a shield against exposure and a direct path to power. Speaking less gives you an advantage because it forces the other person to fill the space. When you say little, the other person feels the need to keep talking, and that's when people reveal what they shouldn't. They show their fears, insecurities, desires, and even their hidden intentions. Meanwhile, you hold your cards, understand the game better, and make smarter decisions. Machiavelli didn't write about an ideal world where everything is fair. He wrote about the real world, where the one who knows how to play wins. And in this game, according to him, the winner isn't the one who talks the most, but the one who knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Speaking less makes you seem wiser. People listen to you more attentively when you say less because your words carry more weight. Moreover, those who speak little are often seen as more secure and respectable. Think about it. How many times have you been impressed by someone who said little but got straight to the point? That sticks with you. That has impact. Machiavelli saw this as a huge advantage, especially in situations of power and leadership. Silence conveys confidence, mystery, and gives the impression that you know what you're doing, even if you say nothing. Therefore, if you want more control, more presence, and more influence, start practicing strategic silence. It's not about staying quiet all the time, but speaking with intention, with purpose, and only when it's truly necessary. That's what separates those who are taken seriously from those who are easily ignored. Machiavelli taught us that the world belongs to those who know how to observe, listen, and act with coldness. And in a world where everyone talks too much, those who master silence master the environment. Now tell me honestly, how many times in your life have you regretted talking too much, when silence would have been more powerful? Share it with me in the comments. Sometimes one less word could have changed everything, right? In many real-life situations, silence is an invisible and extremely powerful weapon. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He knew that often those who speak less lead more. And this is proven in different scenarios of our daily lives, where control lies not in words, but in their absence, starting with negotiations. Whether at work, in personal deals, or even in sales, those who talk too much usually reveal their intentions too soon. But those who speak little observe, analyze, and choose the right moment to act. Machiavelli believed that power lies in letting. The others speak first because those who speak reveal, those who listen plan. In a negotiation, silence may seem uncomfortable, but it is precisely this discomfort that pushes the other to expose themselves more. And whoever has more information usually holds the advantage. Now think about arguments and conflicts. When someone is upset and you respond with silence, they lose their rhythm. They become unsettled. They start to question themselves. Silence breaks the cycle of anger and makes you seem more mature, more centered. Machiavelli said that those who control their emotions have already won half the battle. And by not reacting verbally, you show self-control. You show that it is you who decides the game, not the heat of the moment. In the workplace, the effect of silence is even more evident. People who talk less and deliver results come to be seen as reliable, discreet, and strategic. They are the ones who don't get involved in gossip, who don't need to show off all the time, but who, when they speak, get noticed. Machiavelli saw this as a form of lasting power, silent prestige. Because, in a world full of voices trying to prove themselves, those who speak little stand out. And this is not a coincidence. It's wisdom. Even in personal relationships, silence has its role. In moments of tension, choosing silence can prevent impulsive words that cause unnecessary wounds. It can also be a way to observe the other person more and better understand their actions. Machiavelli teaches us that reading people is key to maintaining control. And the less you speak, the more you perceive. Silence also works as a strategic pause. Sometimes staying quiet for a few seconds before answering a difficult question conveys calm, confidence, and intelligence. It's not about being mute. It's about speaking with intention, speaking less to speak better. So when you are facing an important situation, an interview, a meeting, a conflict, remember what Machiavelli preached. It is better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both. And well-used silence commands respect without needing to raise your voice. Speaking less is not weakness. It is knowing how to use communication intelligently. It is occupying space with presence, not with excess. Those who master silence master the environment, and as Machiavelli said, those who know how to remain silent are always more dangerous than those who shout. If this content helped you see the world with new eyes, imagine what else is coming. Subscribe to the channel now and walk with me on this journey of knowledge and power. Here, each video is made to strengthen you, inside and out. The idea of speaking little and controlling others may seem simple, but it's easier said than done. There are common mistakes that, when made, cause you to lose exactly the control you were seeking. And these mistakes are often small actions that go against Machiavellian wisdom. The first mistake is talking too much to assert yourself. When you talk excessively, trying to show that you're in control of the situation, the effect is the opposite. Words lose their weight and people start to not take you seriously. Machiavelli already said that those who talk too much are revealing their intentions and weaknesses. He believed that true strength lies in self-control and in the choice of words. Talking too much to affirm yourself only shows insecurity, and by doing so, you miss the chance to be heard with respect. Instead of dominating the conversation, you hand over control to the other person, who then sets the tone of the dialogue. Another very common mistake is interrupting and always trying to be right. Many people, when trying to prove their point of view, interrupt the other person, trying to make their argument prevail. But this only reduces your authority and increases the tension in the conversation. Machiavelli saw this type of behavior as a serious flaw. When you interrupt, you not only lose the other's respect, but also the chance to learn something valuable. And if you're constantly interrupting, you end up revealing that you care more about what you have to say than about understanding others. Those who have control don't need to be right all the time. Those who have control know how to listen, reflect, and only speak when necessary. The third mistake is explaining your actions all the time. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you seem. Machiavelli was clear in his thinking. If you justify yourself too much, you're showing insecurity. He believed that true authority comes from action, not from constant explanation. Explaining your actions all the time weakens your position because it gives the impression that you lack confidence in what you've done or are doing. Those who control the situation don't feel the need to justify every move. People respect those who act with firmness and purpose without the need for endless explanations. And another more subtle but extremely harmful mistake is using silence passively instead of strategically. Silence should not be used as an escape or as a way to avoid facing a problem. Machiavelli spoke about using silence wisely as a tool to observe, analyze, and control. When you go silent passively, simply withdrawing from the conversation, you miss the opportunity to be in command. Passive silence is a way to hide, to distance yourself from something uncomfortable. Strategic silence, on the other hand, is what puts you in control, making others wonder what you're thinking and keeping their attention on you without you needing to say a word. These mistakes cause you to lose control of the situation and, most of the time, reveal a lack of confidence and insecurity. Machiavelli teaches us that those who seek power and control must act with intelligence and wisdom, and that includes the ability to know when and how to express themselves. The key to having control, according to him, is knowing how to use words with precision and silence strategically. Avoid these mistakes, because when you talk too much, interrupt all the time, justify yourself unnecessarily, or use silence passively, you are not demonstrating power. You are, in fact, handing over your control to someone else. Now that you understand the power of silence and how it can change the way you lead and relate to people, how about starting to apply it right away? The secret lies in practicing with small actions. Start slowly, but consistently. Machiavelli believed that control comes from practice, habit, and intelligent observation. So, if you want to be more respected and powerful, start applying these principles in your everyday conversations. A great way to begin is by trying to speak 50% less in your next conversations. You don't have to be radical, but try to reduce your words and observe how it affects the dynamics. By speaking less, you not only demonstrate control, but also give others the space to speak more, which creates balance and puts you in a position of silent leadership. And who doesn't like to be heard? By speaking less, you create an air of mystery, and in doing so, gain more respect. Another powerful strategy Machiavelli used is pausing before responding. This simple action creates tension, keeps the other person in suspense, and shows that you are thinking carefully before making a decision. Imagine this in an important meeting or a delicate conversation. By making a strategic pause, you show that you are not rushed, that you have control over your words, and most importantly, that you are in control of the situation. This makes the other person value your words more and, at the same time, creates a quiet respect in your favor. Also, take the opportunity to observe how people around you behave when you speak less and listen more. You'll notice that often they begin to feel more comfortable opening up and even start respecting you more. Silence has that power. While others speak, you learn and gain the upper hand. By adopting Machiavelli's strategy of observing before acting, you not only gather more information, but also convey confidence and leadership. This is the true secret of great leaders. mastering the art of being perceived as powerful without needing to shout or show off. Over time, you'll see that the simple act of speaking less will bring surprising results, whether in your personal, professional, or social life. And remember, Machiavelli knew this since the 16th century. He understood that true leadership is not about being heard all the time, but about knowing when and how to speak, and more importantly, when to remain silent. By adopting this wisdom, you will not only increase your influence, but also your respect and control. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, true power belongs to those who master silence. This is the truth Machiavelli taught us. He knew that by controlling silence, you control the game. And now, you know it too. Now it's time to put this knowledge into practice and see how your life starts to change. One silence at a time. If this content made you think differently, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who also needs to learn how to control without needing to shout. Together, we can learn to master silence and achieve real power in our lives.